Hey folks, hope everyone is doing well. I thought I'd share some of the yoga that I've been practicing since I've been home. Uh, I think initially I really did think I was going to get into that ideal routine where I get up and do sun salutations, have some time to just chill out, have a cup of tea, maybe meditate. Um, but like most things, that's not at all how it's gone, which has been fine. It's been a lot of fun time for me with my kids. I completely understand that it's not the situation that everyone has. I'm in a very privileged situation, so um, I recognize that. But even with that, this whole super regimented thing uh, just hasn't happened for me, and I think I thought that it was school routines and whatever else that was stopping me from doing all the things that I wanted to do in a certain way. But all the more better, right? Because what I've learned now is that you don't have to step on a mat in your Lulus uh, for however long we've been at home now. That's it's a long time, but you can still completely maintain a practice that helps support your body so that you can move and go throughout your day feeling better. And I guess I never really realized the potential in super, super lazy yoga. So if at this point you're thinking that's not how yoga was brought over to us, it's a sacred thing. So if couch yoga seems offensive, then I get it. I really do. There's a really long history there with yoga, so I don't want to be at all insulting to that. So maybe we just call it uh, lazy couch stretches, something, I don't know. Somebody else get a better name because I'm drawing a blank. Going over, I think the uniform is probably what's most important for this couch yoga. So today see, this is one of my favorite shirts. This is my father-in-law's. They've had huskies, and he's just never getting it back. So I'm wearing that. I've probably been wearing it. This isn't my first day. Let's just leave it at that. And then I have these Walmart sweatpants. They're supposed to be full length, but this is me. Yeah. And then I'm wearing these socks, which my husband got for me as over the knee socks. Um, but on me, that's not bad. Almost over the knee. We almost made it. So, got those tucked in. And so, yeah, you really can't get much more comfortable, I think. So, find your comfiest outfit, get there, and then let's start as easy as we can. I've got an ottoman here, I've got a couch, I've got some pillows, blankets. So if your couch is not already equipped with the cozy items, go on ahead and get that stuff, put it together, or maybe you just watch this and remember it for another time. This certainly is not going to be a very um, meditative in the quiet, calm sense, but it might take your brain off of whatever else you've been doing. So that mindfulness break, yeah, this absolutely qualifies as that. So you're ready to go. Bringing your bum over to your ottoman or your couch, and then put your feet up. So here's the situation with the bum. Let's see if I can adjust this. That's why I haven't done more videos. This is all I know how to do, and I'm still not getting it. Oh, because it's sitting on a pillow that's blocking the view. Okay, so my hips are down on the ground, and if you can scoot your bum closer to your couch or your ottoman, then go on ahead and do that. But if that's not happening because the hip flexors aren't warm or just your anatomy, go ahead and give yourself a little bit more space, scooting away, and then let yourself recline down. And I do know that it's just my feet in the shot, so I will move in just a second. But the reality of it is that feels really good. So, moving back around. The position that you would want your arms to be in is, well, first of all, let's talk about the structure of it. So, when you're laying down like that, we want to be able to find length in the spine. We want to be able to find length in pretty much everything in this pose. So if anything is feeling at all cramped or like it's not able to, stretch to its potential. It doesn't have to be a huge stretch, but at least like it's not at all compressing. So finding that little bit of length. And I think this can start really with the bum. So use the weight, use the grounding of the bum to be kind of that foundation. And then from there, start to pull your lower ribs up and out. So what we're doing to that low spine is just slowly reaching it out, by drawing that belly button up and up and up. So, and again, don't think that you have to move tons to make this effective. You could just think about it to just that tiny little poof. That might be enough lengthening that this will feel that much better to you. Maybe you go too far and you're like, this is not great. Go back to where you were, okay? So we've got those low ribs pulling out. So continue to lengthen the spine. So ribs are drawing up. Even start to feel that rib cage pop up. Now kind of glue that whole thing down in place, okay? Glue down that long low spine, glue down that, long upper back, just kind of to the bottom of the shoulder blades, long ribs kind of up to almost, yeah, pretty much the breastbone. So you've got all that length there. Glue all that down. Now the thing is that when you draw the body all along, let's see if I can, this is an appropriate t-shirt. Okay, just so you can see. All right, so you've got this all glued down. So then you've got the arms kind of reaching up because you've been drawing the back really long. Next thing you're going to want to do is plug those shoulders down into your shoulder blades. So does that make sense? We have elongated the entire spine, but then we found some softness. So again, things should feel like they're lengthening, but not like you are compressing on anything important, okay? Or really anything. So finding that length. So again, you're laying down on the ground to get this. So this is where it can get really personalized because, spine injuries, if you've had any neck surgeries, if just the way, again, your proportions with your hips and how that connects to your spine. I mean, there are a million different variations. So um, this is definitely not me telling you this is the only way to do it. This is much more, here's some ideas that you can try in your body. Think of it as adding seasoning to a food, right? It's just, you can add it if you want to. Maybe you try it and it's not your thing and you don't do it again, right? Let's just let's keep it like that. So you got your back nice and long. Now from that position, maybe you just want to drop your hands to your belly. So if you feel like you've had a day where you just, you haven't relaxed enough, you feel like you need to be able to settle into your space, then that's a little bit, it's a pretty passive place to put your hands. Now, if you feel like you've been hunched over all day, you're working against this, you want to continue to encourage those shoulders rolling down the back, then you can bring your arms into goalpost arms. So, and again, this is something that in some bodies just doesn't work, and you just may not be able to get your hands down on the ground. And know that you can adjust the elbows. So you can start out like here. I like to like it about here. When you start reaching up a little bit further, at least in my body, you can start to feel that little bit of a pinch. It's not comfortable. So just find what's comfortable. That'll be enough. Just know that that'll be enough. Again, we are doing minimal, lazy stretches here, but we're breathing with it. So we still get the benefits of, that mental connection, uh, physical, spiritual, that whole, if that's your jam, or you stretch, whatever. So you've got your arms in goal post, you've got your back down, you've got your legs up, and this is like the shoulder stand. You get a lot of benefits that you get in shoulder stands, but you get them in a super comfy, achievable way. Back to those arms, maybe not laying down. This is where you get into your pillows. So I'm pretty finicky about this. I wouldn't want two different pillows behind me, two different socks all day, two different pillow depths behind me. That just wouldn't feel even. So either find two of the same thing or get something like this. I also took this blanket from my in-laws. Oh, seeing a pattern here. Okay. All right. So rolling this blanket up. This can be a really nice support. So sometimes behind the neck, that might be just enough to lift it up. And then, maybe, again, we're way on the floor. So, maybe that extra padding of this blanket is just enough that those hands can feel soft and relaxed, because that's what, you definitely, if you're trying to open up in a stretch like that, you have to have that ease element. So that would be my first pose that I would do. Now, this next pose, you can do it on the couch. I'm just going to do it on the ground because that's where I am. Let's see if I can adjust this. Okay. Um, so in a lot of my classes, I like to do the arms overhead just because it never doesn't feel good. So same deal here is that same back that we set up, kind of shoulders reaching up, but then those shoulder blades kind of plugging back in. Now, if you can, start to pull those elbows forward, palms facing each other if you can. You can interlace the fingers. Today, I'm just going to grab the elbows for the sake of height. Let's see if this helps. Okay, so reaching up again, kind of pulling those ribs long, but not just yanking the shoulders up really high. Start to drop that right elbow. And then this right hand is just going to kind of pick up that left elbow if you want. Or again, arms can be extended. Another option, great one down here on the floor too. Bring that right hand down. Maybe it doesn't quite reach the ground. Do, 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 do. Okay, pop that stuff down. So to reach that left arm up, just reaching up and over, shoulders softening. Breath so deep. All right, and then once you find that, if you're here, starting to lift your way back up again, maybe drop the arms. And you can just kind of think about how your left side compares to your right. A huge element and benefit of a practice like this is body awareness, of being aware of, how does my right side feel compared to my left, and just starting to notice sensations in the body. And it's just more obvious when you've done a little bit of stretching or a little bit of work to it. So, getting on with the other side, and arms reaching up, kind of shoulder blades plugging down. Again, this time I am grabbing those elbows. We're going to lift up, lengthen just a tiny bit more. Drop that left elbow. Reach that right elbow up high. On that one, my shoulders got a little bit cramped, so just trying to find a little bit of soft movement in the jaw and in the neck. And then from here, again, another option would be drop that left hand down, reach that right arm up and over. Bring yourself back. And then I'm going to move on to the couch. See if we can get this angled all properly and stuff. Is that going to be enough? Maybe. Perfect. Okay. Cat-cow on the couch. So for this kind of sitting on the edge of the couch, so I'll show you over here. So think about, again, just kind of like your natural spine alignment. There is a little bit of curve there down at the low back, and then letting, that tailbone drift out if it can. And ideally, kind of moving any rump flesh out of the way, just so that you have, not any, obviously you can't totally remove your butt and then move on. Okay, so we've got the hips down, and we're just kind of encouraging, again, think about almost like your cow hips, cat cow, because that's what we're going to be doing. So starting with hands on the knees, kind of dropping that tailbone, lifting up that chest. Again, allowing shoulders to drop down the back, but that doesn't change the fact that we are lengthening. Maybe even you start to look up, seeing how much you can look up while keeping shoulders soft. Shoulder blades pulling together. Then start to lift back up, rounding through, kind of tucking, pulling, letting that head drop, maybe finding some pops and cracks. Again, this one somehow I got really tense quickly in the neck and shoulders. So just finding a little bit of movement there. Okay, so that was our cat-cow. I like doing leg stretches on the couch, so we're going to do that. And by the way, I probably should start with this. These are like designed to be little chunks of things that you can do, like on commercial breaks or in between shows that we're binging. And again, this does not have to be super long, super tricky practice. These are just super easy. Okay, so you've got your feet extended. You can cross right ankle over left. Again, if that's not quite happening, bring in that blanket. Put it there, yeah. Okay, guess what we're going to try to find here? Long spine. So lifting that spine up, we're going to start to pull those ribs forward, and then just kind of let your head drop down, land where you may. Got a pillow on the floor, but not up here. So you can just kind of let that head drop. And it just, being on a squishy surface like this, it it just changes it a little bit. Kind of the same thing as when we observed our left side compared to our right, to compare the side of the body that we worked versus the one that we didn't. This will help to build that body awareness, just because it's different than if you were standing. So coming back up out of that, switcher out, drop that left leg over, lift it up, lengthen, and then travel where you will, using any pillows you want. And I pretty much always love to have my toes pulled in towards my face, but for some people, that really sweet stretch is pointing it away. All right, let's start to lift it back up, uncrossing. Now, if we do like a lazy pigeon, maybe if you can get your leg over, this could certainly be a good lazy pigeon. Um, Again, I mean, you could still pull that leg a little bit further forward. There's almost more room for play here. But the main thing that we're trying to do is, again, use the bum, use the weight of the bum to really just root your hips down, so that you can, pull the legs long, find the length there, and then allow the knee bending to just really reach into that glute and pull a little bit further over. And then if you are pulling your muscles here a little bit longer, then that's going to increase that tension, increase that stretch in that hip. So go as far or shallow as you want to. Shallow sounds like a bad word, but I didn't mean it that way. Like, I like when the ocean is shallow. You can walk in a little bit. All right, starting to lift back up, rolling the shoulders back. And if in between you're like, oh, wait, it'd feel really good to do this right now, it'd feel really good to pull that leg in just a little bit. Maybe you kind of go into a seated happy baby bending, pulling that knee back, maybe extending. So just, easy. How can I make this easier? Maybe that's what I should call it. How can I make this easier? Okay. So from here, we start to go back into that pigeon, so pulling that left side in. And if you have trouble kind of rocking back, maybe you scoot back so that your back is a little bit more supported. All right, so lean that chest forward. Again, whatever amount you feel like. Again, observing how right side feels compared to left. Lift your way back up again. Hey, what time is it? And just kind of listening, see if maybe you want to pull that leg in towards the face. Pull it out, maybe get into some bending. Bringing it back in. Then I think a good seated forward fold here. Up, over. You gonna help me? You can stay right there. So you might be able to use your children as a prop. So I'm gonna do a forward fold, and I want you to, if you can, just gently kind of press me down a little bit further. So kind of pushing up and forward. Yeah. You want to like maybe push like up here-ish, like around the shoulder blades, like move both hands up there. Yes, perfect. Okay, so another prop that you can use is your child. Owing your dog to make everybody happy. I think that's the signal that this girl is taking a turn. Just think, how can I make this easier? We got the whole family involved. All right, honey, let's drop our feet. Make sure she's okay with that. So yeah, just think, how can I make it easier? How can I make it more simple? Don't feel like you even need a yoga mat. Just right where you are. I guess that is pretty yoga, isn't it? Just meeting yourself wherever you are. Well, have a wonderful rest of your whatever. Do you want to say goodbye?
Bye. Didn't you forget?
There you go. Namaste.